would like you to know that I am going to put in some music other than that.
Yes, please.
Hey everyone, welcome to a little show that I'm calling ImprovBroadway Does Would I Lie to You? Because what we're doing tonight is a British panel game show called Would I Lie to You? Where many stories are told, many lies, many truths. It's up to us to figure out which is which. I'm the host, Gabriel Golding, and before we go on, I would like to remind you that this show is being done in support of ImprovBroadway's Kickstarter for Corona, the Virus, the Musical, the Movie, which will help keep the theater open through this pandemic. To get us started tonight, let us get to know our players for the evening. So we'll start with the team I've called Team 1. Let's start with team captain Parker Greenwell.
Hi, my name is Parker. I can do a triple backflip, and I was named after Spider-Man.
Also on Parker's team is Phil Mathis.
Hi, my name's Phil. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a graphic designer. I have a cat. He's currently right there. He's my son. And I've been with the theater for about a year now, and I would give anything for this theater, so that's why I'm supporting it.
And the third member of Parker's team, Laurel Greathouse.
Hey guys, my name is Laurel. I'm from California and Utah. So if you ask me where I'm from, I just choose one based on my mood. And then I love theater, and I've been with ImprovBroadway for about 4 years now, and I'm happy to be here.
And on the other team, we have team captain Jackson Holiday.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Jackson. And I'm really young, and I like cartoons. That's it.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Jackson.
I'm so angry you're on the opposing team now.
Little Billy Boy, and I like cartoons.
Also on Jackson's team is Robin Henry.
Hello. So I moved around a lot growing up, but I've lived in Utah the longest. So I guess I'm from here. I've been with the theater for about 2 or 3 years. I've done improv for a total of a little over 5 years now. And I have too many hobbies to list, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Last but not least, we have Rachel Bourne.
Hello, I have been part of the ImprovBroadway community for the past year, and I feel like it's literally changed my life. I love it, and I love the community of people, and I love having fun and making other people have fun. And fun fact, I am a nurse, and ironically, during this time, I'm working the least I ever have during my entire career. So, yeah, there's that.
Let's get started. Let's get started. The first round works very simply. One of our players tonight is going to tell us a story. They will start by reading the story from a message I will send them on their phone. The other team will have to figure out whether that story is true or a lie by asking questions and trying to get a complete picture. Phil, why don't you start us off?
Okay. I climbed a tree and got stuck in it, and the fire department had to come and get me down.
How old were you when you got stuck in this tree?
I was 22.
Wait, what? Wait, okay, how big was this tree? We have to establish how big a tree was. And wait, how tall are you? Just for the audience, please tell us.
I'm 5'8". So the tree was actually not that tall. It was in the middle of campus, and I was trying to jump up on it, and just to impress some girls. And it was not even like a big tree, but it was big enough that.
Hey Phil, look at me. Did you impress the girls?
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Yeah, totally did.
So how did you get so stuck that the fire department had to show up? Like, was it between two branches or?
It was my belt loop actually got threaded between one of the branches threaded its way between my belt loop as I was trying to come back down, and I lost my footing and was sort of hanging backwards like this.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Phil just like hanging from the tree, like the tree's giving him a wedgie, and he's like, "So, what are you guys doing on Friday?" Like, just
you know, this really reminds me of a cartoon. That that right there would have been a cartoon, and I probably would have watched it. You know?
Oh yeah,
comedy right there.
So
for sure.
It's like small enough, slender enough to make its way through your belt loop, but sturdy enough to hold you there in place. Like it doesn't just snap off and you fall down.
Well, he is 5'8".
Yeah, so I am 5'8", and I'm only 140 pounds. So, or was at the time at least. But yeah, so it may have actually gotten a little bit, not only just between the belt loop, but also the belt itself. So there's a little bit of a sneakier, bigger branch than I expected, but there were also more branches below me that sort of made it difficult for me to do anything. So,
Who was the one who called the fire department?
one of the girls.
One of the girls.
Was she
One of the
impressed?
girls?
Yeah,
that's
they
my
were impressed. They were impressed that I got up there. None of them were interested in me at all. But they were impressed that I was able to climb the tree just by, arm strength alone. Because the closest branch was maybe like a good jump up, and I grabbed it and pulled myself up. And then I just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And
all 140 pounds of you, man.
all 140 pounds of me, yeah.
I want to know the genus of this tree, Phil. I want to know exactly what kind.
I don't know. It was on campus at Louisiana Tech. It was a derpy little tree in the middle of nowhere.
oh, the Louisiana dirt.
Tree. Louisiana dirt, yeah.
That's a good old tree. That's a good deciduous tree.
I could believe that Phil climbs a tree to impress girls, but I don't know about the belt loop thing, man. That's the toughest thing for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of an embarrassing thing that you wouldn't make up, in my mind anyway.
At first I was all in that it was alive, but now I'm thinking, I don't know. I feel like I can visualize this happening with Phil, so I want to change my mind and say that it's true.
All right, we'll go for the sake of the image, and I think we'll say it's true.
All right,
Phil, was your story true?
It was a lie.
All right.
No, I knew it sounded like a cartoon. You saw it on like Fairly Odd Parents or something. Dang it.
Jackson, you're the smartest one on the team right now.
Robin, please read out your story.
I once got pulled over because a policeman thought my pet chicken was sitting by itself in the driver's seat.
I'm gonna need another read through of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I once got pulled over because a policeman thought my pet chicken was sitting by itself in the driver's seat.
How far back were you leaning back?
So when I first started driving, I reclined the seat like probably a little too much.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did the chicken sit in your lap, or did it
Yeah,
sit in the seat next to you?
Well,
I
she
had my
was just
chicken
figuring
sitting
out
in
how
my
to use
lap.
the pedals, so the chicken was doing
Oh.
the steering wheel.
Yes, the chicken was assisting her for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is the plot to Moana, isn't it?
Sure.
That or some sort
Okay,
of foghorn leghorn kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I
How
didn't get
old
my
were
license
you?
till I was 18.
18.
And so I was 17 at the time. I had my learner's permit, and one of my older brothers was like, "Hey, let's try distracted driving by like taking one of your chickens into the car and like see how you handle it." Basically,
I thought you were gonna say that your chicken was gonna be the adult in the car with you.
Yes.
Cool for you to drive.
21 years or older.
Also, you could also try putting a chicken to sit in the carpool lane. Like, has anyone tried that one before?
Oh yeah, technically a passenger.
So your brother, rather than like, here, Robin, let's see how you drive while like music is going on or looking for a specific address and see how you handle distracted driving that way. It was like, here's a chicken, and the chicken will be the distraction.
I would like to
real-life
point out, Rachel, that you are on the same team as Robin.
Sorry. Sorry, Robin. I'm just so intrigued.
Did you get a ticket for this?
No, I didn't. The officer was basically like, people drive with their dogs, so I guess a chicken's okay.
Yeah, but people don't drive with their dogs in their lap.
Wait. He wasn't gonna give you a ticket, but he was all ready to give a chicken a ticket because the chicken was driving.
Without a
He
license.
was just confused.
Without a license.
Like, he saw the chicken and he was like, what the crap is going on? So he pulled me over.
He must be really bored.
Hey, we don't accept that kind of foul language here.
And it was in Manti, so
Anti.
yeah, I learned to drive like down there out in the middle of nowhere. So
That sounds like animal profiling to me. Like, oh, somebody has a problem with a chicken driving, but if it's a human driving, like, no problem.
Yeah.
You know how those small town cops are.
Yeah. That's kind of clucked up, if you ask me.
So
Sorry.
Hey, I want a team change, please.
So did you grow up on a farm? Like, where did you get these chickens from?
I raised chickens a few times when I was in Michigan, and then when my family moved to Utah, we got chickens again. So
Parker, please confer with your team and then present your guess.
Okay.
I think it's true.
Phil, you think it's true, Laurel?
Yeah,
What do you think it's true?
because I know Robin and she has the craziest stories.
Okay. All right, Phil, what do you think?
I'm actually inclined to believe that it's true because I can just sort of see that happening somehow. I know some cops who would actually legitimately pull over a chicken on the side of the road.
Well, I think it's bull crap, but I got outvoted by my team, so I guess we're saying true.
Okay.
You're the captain. You could
No, it's too late.
Okay.
This is perfect, because if we're wrong, I can blame it on you guys.
Going full Jim Carrey on you guys. Nah.
All right, Parker, your team is guessing true. Robin, was it true or was it a lie?
it was a lie.
Oh!
I knew it. My dog can't staying in my lap. I can't imagine a chicken's much better.
Hey.
Chickens actually ride in the car pretty well.
So you have done it before.
Wait.
I have had a chicken
maybe like if
sitting in
you-
a cage in the back of the car before, but I've never had one sitting in my lap while I was driving.
Oh yeah, my dog does good at sitting in a cage in the back seat. That's a different story.
Heck, my 5-year-old does well.
Jackson, you're young. You don't have a 5-year-old.
I'm young. I watch cartoons.
Our next round is going to be a team round. What this means is that everyone on Parker's team has the same story, but only one of them is telling the truth. It will be up to Jackson's team to figure out which one of them it is. I will read off the story that Parker's team is going to be giving. It is, I was shot in the head and survived. So, Jackson, you may choose which person on Parker's team to question first.
Let's question Philip. Finn.
Okay.
All right. So where, like, was it shot with a real gun, or was it like a BB gun, or like?
Well, I mean, I guess it really depends on what you consider to be a gun. Because, I mean,
What?
Parker and I were messing around. We did have this BB gun that, like, you know, was something that he gifted me. And I thought that it was, I don't know, pretty cool. And I'd grown up using BB guns before, you know, doing Boy Scouts and stuff like that. You can't puncture anything more than like a piece of paper with a BB gun. So I don't know. I wouldn't
Sorry,
call
who
it a
were
gun.
you messing around with?
That was Parker, of course.
Wait, so
You-
Parker and you were
You
hanging
do
out
know that if
as grown men with BB guns.
Yeah, you know, just shooting the crap out by the back of some house somewhere out in the country that we
Wait,
found.
which house? Which house was this? Was it a friend's house? Like, nobody's gonna just like let you inside their house.
I
And
would
be
also
like,
like to point out that Parker, by necessity, can't corroborate your story.
No, yeah, we were messing around. He pulled the trigger when I wasn't paying attention, and it went right off into his chin, and yeah, like right up this way, went right through. It's kind of crazy.
Okay, Jackson, why don't you move on to the next person?
Okay, I wanted to keep going, but okay. Let's go, Laurel.
What's up?
Laurel. So you got shot in the head and survived,
Yes.
but are there any complications to this afterwards? You know, to this condition?
No.
Being
It
shot
just-
in a condition.
It just healed by itself over time. Yes, I don't really remember much of it, but it just healed over time, and living miracle, really.
Wait, so you never like went to a hospital or anything?
Sorry,
Wait.
I'm going to interject here. Could we backtrack a bit and find out more
Yeah.
about the circumstances under which you were shot in the head?
I was at a camp with some friends and some parents, and they had a rifle range there. And then I got one of the guns just had a glitch, and it shot me like right here. Yeah.
So, like, when you say, like, it backfired, or
Like I don't remember because I was the one that was hit, but from what I was told, that the trigger slipped on somebody's hand slipped on the trigger, and it just hit me right here.
oh gosh,
It's
And
like
so basically,
safety was
So it was a
it
real
grazed
bullet.
you.
yes.
So, like, could you put your forehead closer to the camera so we can inspect it for any like residual damage?
That's true.
This was
Anything dark?
almost 18 years ago. You can't see it.
And you're only 18 now. You would have been a baby.
I was a baby.
Right. You were a small child holding firearm. That's my real concern. And you said there were kids and parents around, and they just happened to own a firing range. All of these parents, was it like?
Yeah, it was me, my friends, and my sisters, and our parents.
Oh, so you owned the firing range?
I don't. We were at a camp.
Oh, what camp was it?
I don't remember. It was in the mountains in California somewhere. It was girls' camp.
Oh, it was girls' camp. Okay.
I didn't know they did gun ranges at girls' camp because I've only heard about the song singing, and I've found it disturbing.
They did
That's all I've heard about too.
archery at the girls' camps I went to. But
This is California. We went all out.
I
Oh
see.
yeah, Californians, they're hardcore. They shoot kids with guns. I mean,
It's those Californians that migrated from Texas, I guess.
So Jackson, do you think you have enough to go off of from Laurel?
yeah. I think we got to move over to Parker.
Okay.
All right, Robin, Rachel, you guys have any questions for Parker?
How did you get shot in the head?
yeah.
So my grandpa has a barn in the back of his house, and like tons of stray cats get in there. So sometimes me and my cousin Kirby would go out with our pellet guns, and we'd go and we'd just pop them, scare them away, stuff like that. So it wasn't like a gun, but it's still like fun to say, you know, 2 truths and a lie style. And so I was coming around the side, and Kirby was like a ways away, and he just shot me right across, like right here, and I had to get 5 stitches.
So it was a glancing shot.
Yeah.
It was with a pellet gun.
Yeah, pellet gun.
Okay, a pellet gun. So it's not like super crazy. Like, whoa, I got
Well,
shot.
I'm alive, so that's.
I mean, you're alive, but I mean, like, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been like a real gun. But like, so you're, who was it again?
It was me and my cousin Kirby, and we were both 11 years old. So they usually don't give 11-year-olds AK-47s to shoot some stray cats. So.
Well, right. I mean, shoot some stray cats. But like, who gave you these guns again?
Oh, we both just have them. I'm like from the boonies.
You're from the boonies.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gun down in the boonies, you know.
I mean, yeah, though.
They're getting rifles to 2-year-olds, so I mean.
I don't know. I mean, that seems. I don't know. Rachel, Robin, you guys have anything?
I think it was Laurel.
I think it was Parker. I think Parker's telling the truth.
Glad nobody thought it was me.
Well, I mean,
The one who vastly misunderstood how this game was supposed to work.
yeah, me and Parker, like
Yeah.
looking over, like, oh, yeah.
I thought it was an improv
also-
exercise. My bad.
Also, Phil was there. What?
Well, it is an
No.
improv exercise for 2 of you.
We're
True.
like, who'd you do this with? And he's like, oh yeah, Parker. He was like,
Also, some random kid from Louisiana was in my home in Ogden, Utah. It was what?
yeah.
All right, Jackson,
Yeah.
you think you're ready to guess who it is?
I think so. I'm gonna say Parker.
All right. Parker's team, please raise your hand if you have been shot in the head and survived.
No!
Yeah.
Who was it? I didn't see.
It was Laurel.
I knew it.
Right, Laurel's been shot in the head and is still alive today.
Dang, that is a miracle shot. You have no scar, girl. Dang.
Next up is Rachel.
I was once arrested just because the police officer thought that I had suspicious-looking eyes.
Where was this?
This was in my hometown, back in California. I was 19. I was home
Okay.
for the summer from college.
What part of California?
The high desert area, Southern California.
Oh, okay.
That could explain a lot from the people down
Is there like a drug problem there? I don't know anything about California.
Yes.
Did this officer give you a reason why he thought your eyes were suspicious?
Yes, he said my pupils were unnaturally large.
Oh,
So he was thinking you
he
were
thought-
on something.
Yeah, he thought you were blazing it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Were your pupils unnaturally large?
I naturally have unnaturally large pupils, so they're natural for me, but yeah, they're larger than your average person.
Yeah.
You got that anime eye syndrome where the pupils.
And I naturally I get it. I naturally have want to eat Doritos a lot. So, but I ain't never been arrested for it.
So how long did you stay in jail for? Did you actually got taken to the jail or just sat in the cop car and then got released?
So after I did some sobriety tests, which the officer told me that I failed, he arrested me. Like, he put me in handcuffs, put me in the car, took me down to the station, and he released me into the custody of my parents after he was done with all the booking stuff.
How old you said you were 19? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this cop still, like, how long was he on the force for?
I want to say he said he's on the force for like 20 years, and and when I was protesting, he said he'd only been wrong one other time in making an arrest that shouldn't have been related to drug use.
The other person had really small pupils. So
Where were you when he picked you up?
I was driving home from my job. I worked at a drugstore in town, and I closed
drugstore.
At 19 years old, were you even allowed?
We've got to make sure that the merchandise is still fresh.
I think I think that cops, for once, at least the cops I know, like, they don't admit their wrongdoings at all. And so
I agree to that part.
Hey Rachel, wait, will you just real quick say the alphabet backwards, just real fast?
Yes, they made me do that, and it's one of those things that's so stereotypical. You don't think someone's actually going to do it, so you're like ZYX. And so then I have to hurry up and very quickly, under my breath, sing the whole alphabet forward so I can know how to go backwards. Yeah, I didn't do so well.
I feel like for sobriety tests, they should do things that people can do normally when they are sober.
Just touch your nose real fast. Just do it.
Exactly. And apparently it's like, well, you didn't touch your nose like right on the tip. It was slightly like to the left or to the right of the tip.
What did your parents do when you got released back into their custody?
They were very upset. In fact, they took me to the local ER to get my blood drawn, because in their minds, they felt like if this police officer had screwed up this thing so badly, even though they took my blood at the station, they were afraid that incompetence would have gone there as well. And so they took me to an ER to get my blood drawn there so that they would have like an independent set of results to be like, look, she wasn't on drugs, just in case the other report came back positive.
And what happened?
That doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, did you try and sue the police officer? Because, like, that's real bad.
Oh no, she's on drugs again.
It is bad, yeah.
You're frozen, yo.
And,
You're frozen.
We'll tell you when you're not frozen anymore.
I think it, like, she's telling about, like, yeah, she worked in a drugstore when she was 19 and has big pupils, and she's from Southern California. I don't think she was arrested.
No, this is definitely a lie.
Parker, you're the honcho man on this team. You make the final call.
Because the thing is, there was like, it was a little complicated of a story. Like she went to a hospital. That was like a whole different thing. I think if it was a lie, it would have been a lot simpler.
I think it was like half true, half lie.
Half true, half lie. I'll go with my team again, Mr. Golding. I'm going to say it's a lie.
All right, Rachel, were you telling the truth or telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
What?
What?
Okay, you guys are fired. It's all me now.
Yes!
Next up is Parker.
Okay, I punched a shark.
Where were you when you punched the shark? I mean, obviously in a body of water, but like which body of water were you in when you punched the shark?
I was doing an excursion on a cruise in the Caribbean Ocean, or this Caribbean Sea. It's not an ocean.
Caribbean Sea. So like you were with people, or was this like was this like
Yeah.
was this
So
like
it was,
a thing?
yeah, it was like something we paid extra for. Like so some locals put it on. They had like these nurse sharks in like this little area right here, and
Sharks are so cool.
Extra to be able to punch the shark.
yeah, like we were in the water with the sharks.
Right, but then to be able to punch the shark was extra. Like you paid
Yeah,
for the
yeah. I had to pay $5 for punching privileges. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So this was a part of like a cruise line. So take me through step by step. Like you got in the water. Like what were you like in a cage, or were you like swimming around? Or
No. So these are nurse sharks. So they're not like super vicious or something like that. So there was like water like up to my chest-ish kind of thing. What?
You still punched a non-vicious shark?
Yeah. Well, so what happened is it kept like coming up to my leg, and I was trying to get it away because I was trying to walk to get to the shore, and so I kind of like punched it.
How did the shark feel about this?
Well,
why did that necessitate a punch? Why couldn't you have just like pushed the shark away? Why did you need to punch the shark?
maybe I need some anger management classes or something. I don't know.
Were you having a bad day that day?
Yeah, I was having bad. No, I was on a cruise. It was good. I don't know. So like,
you can have bad times with your family. Trust me. I mean, like you're out in like a different area and you're having fun, and then you're just like, oh, I can't believe I'm with these people, even though I'm like on a hot air balloon. Like, you know.
So what happened is like this one shark kept like getting in my way as I was like trying to move around the little like pool-ish area. And so like as I was going around, it kept like getting in my way. And so I finally just kind of was like pushing it out of the way, but then I just kind of punched, I bopped it. I don't know. My sister was also making jokes about like, hey, they say like when you're surfing, you punch the sharks to get rid of them. I was like, all right, I'm gonna punch the shark to get it away.
So it was more of a bap than a punch.
Yeah, I didn't get in a schoolyard brawl with the shark.
There's a love tap.
All right, I think we've run out of new information. So Jackson, please discuss with your team.
All right. Thoughts. Anybody, anywhere?
I want to say it's true because I went scuba diving one time and the dive master punched a shark. So this feels true to me.
Yeah, it sounds viable.
Viable. For a moment, I thought you said Bible.
Yeah, but that almost makes me like think the opposite. Like, of course, Parker would come up with a convoluted story about punching a shark in order to make us believe him. So it's like, I think Parker's using
Jackson. That's the whole point of this game.
I know, but that's the thing. The thing.
You believe them. Of course he would do that.
Of course. That's the thing is, so he could be lying. So that's where I'm like, okay, like I'm not very experienced with lying, but I know.
It's all right. You're young. You're just a boy. You like cartoons.
All right, Jackson, what's your answer going to be?
We'll say it's true. We'll say it's true.
All right, Parker, was it true or was it a lie?
That's a lie I came up with 5 minutes before we started this game.
God
Nice.
dang it.
Great.
We're all gonna lose.
You guys were all on that call when I was texting that lie. I was
Okay,
contracting it.
we're going to do another team round. This time it is Jackson's team. Their story is, as a young child, I thought I was literally a demigod. Parker, you may choose who to question first.
I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to assign Laurel to question Robin for us.
Okay. Robin, my friend,
Yes.
what made you think that you were a demigod as a young child? Like, what made it start? Like, did you watch a cartoon? It's like, I want to be like you, or just tell me how it all started.
So I read the Percy Jackson series, and I got completely obsessed with it. And I was like, I'm really smart for my age. I thought I was back then anyway. And I really liked horses. I was like obsessed with horses. And I was like,
Checklist. Number 1, smart. Number 2, like horses. Must be a demigod.
And sing.
I also liked going to the beach, so I was like,
and oceans. Check number 3. Got it.
Like, maybe I'm like Percy Jackson,
One of my parents must be the ancient god of horses and the sea.
So,
guys,
did
I also think I'm smart. I like horses, and this may be crazy. I like going to the beach. I must be a demigod too.
So,
yeah, same.
Robin, you lived in Utah and Michigan. Where else have you lived that you were by the ocean that you would like it so much?
So I wasn't by the ocean a whole lot. Like, as a kid, I didn't get a lot of chances to go to the ocean growing up. I was born in Nebraska. I lived there for like 6 till I was 6, and then I lived in Pennsylvania for about 6 months, and then Texas for 5 years, and Michigan for 5 years, and then I moved to Utah when I was 16.
So you said you liked the ocean?
Yeah.
And that's how you thought you were a demigod? So you just kind of like perceive it.
Don't forget the horses.
Well,
horses.
My main thing was I was completely obsessed with horses.
Okay.
Till I was like 15, and I basically read like all the books about horses in the library.
Okay.
And I grabbed every chance I could get to ride horses. I had a friend who rode at the stable, and like I'd go horseback riding with her, and every time I saw horses it was like an instant magnet. Like, I didn't care about anything else.
Okay.
And Poseidon is the god of horses, so.
But I'm just imagining like Zeus up there just saying like, all right, so we got Poseidon, you control the sea. Hades, you got the underworld. Apollo, you got the sun and stuff. And Robin, what's your thing? I just like horses. Like, so you control horses? No, I'm just into them. I just
Poseidon
can't get enough of them.
All right.
Poseidon is the god of horses. Like,
I'm going to say let's move on to let's move on to the next person. I feel like we've stopped getting new information.
All right, Phil. I'm assigning you to interrogate Rachel.
All right, Rachel. How old were you when you decided you were a demigod?
Right around like 5 to 6 years old.
5 to 6. Oh man. Okay. So who was your godly parent then?
So this is where it's one of those things where like your upbringing, you're still trying to sort through like your religious upbringing and like your cultural upbringing. So I was pretty well versed in the Bible, being from a religious family. So about, okay, so Jesus has like God as his father and like Mary his mortal mother, okay. And then I too, like Robin, had an interest in Greek mythology. So then you hear stories like Hercules, same thing, like Zeus is his dad, mortal mother. And so then it's like, okay, so in my mind, it kind of fused in like, well, I'm thinking I came from heaven before I was born. And then I come to like mortal people, so I'm like half and half. And I think what also helped to bring kind of this to the forefront of my mind too is 5 or 6 is right around the time that kids are first starting to be allowed to get into sports. And I was a pretty athletic kid for my age. And so playing sports and, being involved in things like soccer and t-ball and things like that, I was doing better than the other kids were. And so it kind of, all these things kind of came together to be like, wow, like I came, like I'm fused from like heaven, where the heavens and the earth meet, and then I do things a lot better than other people do. So that just shows my divine side coming through. So yeah, but then when I got older and my the kids who were more athletic than me ended up getting even better, and I stayed the same or got worse, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just a little fish in a big pond. So that's, I would say it was only like a year or so that belief lasted, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not really as great as I think I am. So
So
you
how
lost
are you
your demigod
saying-
power is pretty cool.
How did you feel about horses, though?
Yeah, horses. That's important.
they're pretty cool, but I was pretty much a dog kid all the way from the time I was little. So
Horses are big dogs. I mean,
so then, which great god was the god of dogs? I don't know.
So all it took
Gotcha.
was realizing that other people were better than you at sports to figure out the nuances of your theology.
well, it's one of those, yes, exactly, because like I'm doing like pretty good, and then I started to get eclipsed, and then I had just this the cognitive dissonance just got too much to where I'm like, well, if these kids are better than me like consistently, then I guess I'm really not that special. I guess I really am not a demigod.
I mean, I can't argue with that logic.
Yeah, I'm done with my questions. She answered all of them.
Hey, Jackson, it's you and me, buddy. I think you're full of crap. Tell me about when you thought you were a demigod, buddy.
hey, so kind of like Robin, so my first books, like reading through all the way through, were Percy Jackson, like Heroes of Olympus kind of stuff like that. And like I just started to like be like, all right, what if they could be real? So like I started like kind of testing the waters. Literally, like I had just like put down my bathtub and like hold my breath under the bathtub. Like I was in like second grade, and I just like dig my dump my head in water. Perdón. Just like try and like hold my breath, and then I'd come up and like I'd be like, oh my gosh, that was so long, and I'd be like only 10 seconds, and I'd be like, one day I can probably do it forever, So like, and then like also like I didn't know exactly like which Greek god I was part of, because like I would do that and I'd be like, maybe my dad's Poseidon, like, and I didn't think like my mom like was like unfaithful to my father. I just thought like my real dad was Poseidon. I didn't understand like how like adult time frames work. So like him going to work, I was just like, oh, he's going to Olympus. I know what to do. Like, and it
would have helped that he came back from work just drenched, like just.
Well, I mean, sometimes he came back from like basketball and he'd be super sweaty, and I'd be like, "That's not sweat. That's water on that boy," like, and I would, so like, and like other times I would like go and like hold my like at opportune times I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's cloudy. I'm gonna try and make it rain," and so like I go outside and I like hold my hand up to the clouds as like powerfully as I could, arm extended, my muscles just like so strained, and I would just hold it there, and I'd like, and like sometimes it would rain, and I'd be like, and so I think it came to a head. Like this is when I found out I wasn't. It's like I went up to my mom and I was like, "Mom, I think you got to know this. I think Dad's a god." She's like, and she was like, she thought I was joking at first, so she's like, ah, and I was like, "No, I'm serious." And she's
Was
like,
this Jackson? Was this last week?
No, this is not. I was
You're
in
a
the
young boy.
I'm a boy, but
in
I was
in the commercials of the cartoons you were watching, you went up to your mommy.
Yeah, I went up to my mommy and I was like, "Mom, yeah, I'm 19. That's Jesus." No, my dad's not Jesus. Okay. But my mom had to like sit me down and be like, "All right, Jackson, like there's only one God, And I was like, "You're probably right."
And that's Zeus the Almighty.
Yeah. And I was like, "But Dad could be a god, And so like it hung out, it lingered for about a week after that.
All right, Parker, it is time for your team to decide who was telling the truth.
All right. Tell me what you're thinking, team.
I'm thinking that Robin is telling the truth.
Or what do you think?
It's a toss-up between Jackson and Rachel.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, they all came up with good stories, but only one of them likes horses. And
And that's so important to the Poseidon mythos, yes.
And you know what? I don't care what my team says anymore because they're always wrong. I'm going with Robin.
All right. So Parker's team,
It wasn't me.
you're choosing Robin.
No.
No, it wasn't. It's like, I just made that crap up.
I knew she was lying, Parker, because she kept on rubbing the back of her neck.
So, Jackson's team, please raise your hand if you were telling the truth.
I knew
Oh,
it.
no.
I knew
Gosh,
it.
dang it.
All right, next up is Laurel.
There were a group of kids that came up to me asking for an autograph because they thought I was in the movie Tall Girl.
What? Really?
Yes.
Wait, have you ever seen Tall Girl? That's the first thing.
Yes, I have.
Okay. That's such a wow. Really?
Which
Well,
character
to
do
be
they
fair,
think you were?
Jackson, you have to figure out whether or not it really happened.
Yeah. But like, I'm just like thinking of like the circumstance, even if it was a lie, like, I don't think I would ever go up to somebody, even in a lie stance, and be like, "Hey, are you Tall Girl?" Like, and I would like get their autograph.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't think people lie about such sad things. So like what were you doing that day, I guess?
So the movie came out last September 2019 on Netflix. And I was in Huntington Beach in October visiting my mom, and my sisters came with me visiting my mother and some other family down there for a fall trip. And we were roaming on the Huntington Beach Pier. I had shorts and a t-shirt, and of me being 6 foot tall, that's really how tall I am. I was just roaming, and then there were some teenager girls that just kept on staring at me and whispering like, "Okay, whatever." And then my family and I, we went to the diner at the end of the pier, watched the sunset, and then I just kept on seeing them peek in the windows. It's like, what is going on here? This is creepy. Because I was told before that I do have that familiar face. A lot of people say that. And so on our way back to the car, this leader of the pack of the teenager group, I don't even remember their names, they say like, "Hey, excuse me, you're in Tall Girl, right? May I have your autograph?" I was just so dumbfounded that I just went along with it. Yeah, so I just kind of like BS'd it. It's like, yeah, sure. I didn't want to break their hearts because they were so brave. And so it's like, then luckily I had to pretend that I got a text from my sister who was waiting in the car on the way back because she had to go get her kite because we were gonna go kite flying. And I was pretending to text her, but in reality, I was looking up the name of the main actress so I could sign her name instead of mine.
I was just gonna ask this. Isn't the lead actress in that movie blonde?
Yeah.
Also, she's taller than you.
Yeah.
As everyone who's watched Tall Girl knows, in order
She's like
to be
6'1",
a freak of
6'2".
nature, you have to be 6'1.5".
Yeah. I mean, it's like these teenager girls, they were probably like their mid-teens and they were short. And so they think every tall girl looks the same. So I just went along with it. It was great. I loved
That's
it.
racist, man.
That's some
way of
high
thinking.
profiling right there, you know.
To be fair,
High profiling. Wow.
To be fair, I'm 6'4", and I can't tell any height differences under 6 feet. Like they're all the same to me.
Even like 5 feet and 5'11".
Yeah, like I don't know.
Like, oh, they're the same.
Yeah. And
Laurel,
then, what's that?
what is the name of the actress that you signed the autograph for? What's her name?
Oh, I don't remember now. It's been so long. But it was just the spur of the moment.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, I just heard, it's like, okay, that's her name. I'll sign it.
Wait, so have you ever gotten this like before? You know, like, so was it new to you? Was it like, hey, like, or was it like, oh, this again, you know? So like,
Oh, like with the autograph thing, or just
well, not with the autograph, but like with the similarity, you know, like, oh, I could, you know. So
yeah. Yeah, like in Australia, I went to Australia last year, and I was at church, and then this lady started talking to me as if she knew me. Like, who the heck are you? And then when she realized I was American, she's like, oh, I thought you were someone else.
I thought you were someone else.
I have all these doppelgangers around the world, and I hope they are behaving themselves because I don't want the cops to screw up.
Well,
as long as you don't have suspicious looking eyes, Laurel, you're going to be fine.
Okay.
How big are your pupils?
One has a movie.
Jackson, I'm going to go ahead and press you to get an answer from your team.
It's a lie, Jackson. It's a lie.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know.
Maybe we should defer to Robin because Robin knows Laurel better than I do.
Yeah, Robin, what do you think, girl?
Sounds like it's true, maybe. I don't know. Laurel's smiling too much.
I'm going to go ahead and remind you that we don't know is not an acceptable guess.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going with lie.
I'm going to go with lie.
All right. I think my team has spoken. I think we'll say it's a lie.
All right, Laurel, was it true or was it a lie?
It was a lie.
Yes!
Okay, next round is going to be Jackson.
I once made out with a girl in front.
Oh, lie, right there, just lie.
Let me finish. I once made out with a girl in front of a prominent religious figure.
Who was this religious figure?
Elder D. Todd Christofferson.
When you said figure, I'm thinking like a sculpture. Like I
was thinking too.
Like a man was there and he saw me make out with a girl.
Where was this, Jackson?
This was on stage, so it makes it a little better. It wasn't just like in an alleyway and then we like looked.
Wait, why does that make it better?
Outside our window, you know.
Wait,
so what play
was it a stage kiss then?
Well, I mean, like it wasn't like it was like full on and like.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a stage kiss,
I
though,
will
right?
say, I think the wording was
Yeah, so it was a stage kiss. But the thing was...
That makes sense. Because it's you, Jackson.
What play was it for?
It was for... I played Don Lockwood in Singing in the Rain at my high school.
Oh, nice.
So why was Elder Christofferson there? Did he have like a relative that was in the play?
Yeah, he did. His granddaughter was in the play. So
Were you smooching his granddaughter?
No.
Oh.
No, she was his granddaughter was a sophomore, and I mean like, yeah. So I mean, and the girl that I was kissing was a senior. And what?
No, I was just wondering why her being a sophomore was important.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch
you
of
keep track of these sorts of
but
things.
I mean, like, and so like, yeah, like I didn't even know it at the time, like that I was kissing her. So like, what goes on is like the scene is like after they sing a song like "Good Morning," they have like this little smooch, and it's based off of this other guy's line. And so my friend, he was playing Cosmo, and so he basically controls the duration of the kiss. And so it's dependent on his lines to finish off. And so he would just keep going like night after night with these long pauses. And like in the stage directions, it says like, you can't stop until he stops, And so, I mean, like, so it got to like, that kiss got, I think at its longest, like 3 minutes, no air,
What?
I think your drama teacher was just like
Long enough for you to.
And I am forever angry because like I was just like there, and it was just like, that's how you kiss a girl, apparently.
he kissed a girl and he liked it. He liked the taste of his cherry chapstick.
And so there you were kissing the girl for ages and ages, and you open one eye, and there in the audience, looking at you with his signature
is an apostle of Jesus
Christ.
Well, like I get off stage, and then people are like whispering around, like, I was like, "What's going on?" Like me, like, "Hey."
And then he comes up and he's like, he's like, "Hey, Jackson, my man." That was
Well, actually, he did give me a handshake after the show. He's like, "Great job," like just like it's just like I just shook hands with a man so pure, diamonds cry at the sight of him, like, and I just like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if I should have said sorry.
What character was his daughter playing?
She was in the chorus, and so I'm moving right now to get a chart. But yeah, that's basically my story.
I mean, I know this doesn't have anything to do with it, but I like to imagine that his whole family, all their names start with D. And so it's like, his daughter's name is Darla Todd Christofferson. And then his wife's name is Diana Todd Christofferson. That doesn't have anything to do with anything, but.
Well, I feel like then his grandchildren should just add another D. Like, so it's like Diane D.D. Christofferson.
Yeah, or what if a female in a family's name is actually D, like D-E-E? And she literally is D. Todd Christopherson.
Dang.
I once again can't help but notice that we've gotten a bit off topic. So, Parker, do you think you're ready to make a guess with your team?
Let's see. All right. So we've gotten none correct so far. So let's see if we can get one. Phil, what do you think, my man?
I know that Jackson does stuff up north, up closer to Salt Lake. So I'm thinking that this might actually be true.
Okay. Laurel, what are you thinking?
It could possibly be true, but really 3 minutes. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that was also not the initial claim.
But do you think it might have been like the closing night type deal? You just were messing around.
Well, here's the thing. It was a real detailed story. It all collaborates, but still Jackson kissing a girl. That's like, I don't know, it's hard to believe. I'll go with true. Let's go with true.
All right, Jackson, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was the truth.
Yeah! Got a point!
Yeah. Why is it so hard to believe that I kissed a girl? Is it because I'm a boy and I watch cartoons?
Okay, that brings us to the end, and I can reveal that tonight we have a tie. Both teams have 1 point.
Yeah! Woo!
Number one.
You're also number
We're
2.
all number 1.
Anyway. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please remember to support the theater with that Kickstarter, because that's what this live stream is all about. And I hope you enjoy whatever's coming on next, because this has been pre-recorded and the schedule's not finished yet. Bye!
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 Bye.